Hello friends, I am Dr. D. Chitravedi going to take a lecture number 10 related with the shift register in EL 4502. This is in unit number 3 with the flip-flops. We have studied the different type of the shift register. Shift register is nothing but temporary memory storage devices, which is nothing but actually it is a buffer between the input output devices and mainframe memory or CPU unit of the computer system. So before encoding also the shift register is required, and after the decoding also the shift registers are required. It is utilized for arithmetic circuit and to prepare some kind of counters, etc. We have studied four type of the shift register. The first shift register was serial in serial out shift register. What is serial in serial out shift register? Serial out in serial out shift register is nothing but there is a one input which can be entered, the data can be entered into this shift register in serial fashion. That means one bit at a time in a serial fashion. The data will be loaded into the shift register, and there is only one output is there, that is the output of the last flip flop is going to be there, where LSB may be appear at this point, and every clock pulse this LSB will come out of the shift register and will be lost, and next LSB will be appear over here. So the data which is going to be appear at the output also in a serial fashion and will come out of the shift register. That's why it is called serial in serial out shift register. Now we'll see the detail how this shift register are going to be prepared and how it can be implemented, that we are going to study over here. So 9.2 is a serial in serial out shift register. In this section we discuss how the data is serially entered or excited from a shift register. The flip-flops used to construct a shift register are usually H triggered, JK, SR or D type of the flip-flops. So any of this flip-flop we can utilize. We can utilize RS flip-flop, we can utilize JK flip-flop, or we can utilize D flip-flop, and this flip-flop we are going to utilize H triggered D flip-flop or H triggered RS or H triggered JK flip-flop can be utilized to construct a serial in serial out shift register or any type of the register. We begin our discussion with the shift register made from the D type flip-flop and then extend this idea to the SR and JK flip-flops. So we are starting to prepare the serial in serial out shift register with the D type H triggered flip-flops. You know that H triggered D type flip-flop means the data input is only single line is there, and that data is transferred into the flip-flop after applying the negative edge of the clock pulse. Consider 4D flip-flop connected as shown in the figure 9.2a, forming a 4-bit shift register. Because we want to enter here the data 4-bit into shift register, our data is comprised of the 4-bit, we require here 4 flip-flop, 4D flip-flops is required, and they should be connected in a serial fashion. That means output of one flip-flop is connected to the input of the next flip-flop, and output of the second flip-flop is connected to the input of the third flip-flop, and output of the third flip-flop is connected to the input of fourth flip-flop. So a common clock provides trigger at its negative edge to all the flip-flops, and all the flip-flops the clock is connected to the common clock cycle. That means on every clock negative edge of the clock pulse all the flip-flops are going to be triggered simultaneously. So they are connected for the clock purpose, they are connected in a parallel fashion. A common clock provides trigger at its negative edge to all the flip-flops. As output of one D flip-flop is connected to the input of the next, at every clock trigger, data stored in one flip-flop is transferred to the next flip-flop. For this circuit, transfer takes place like this. We can designate the first flip-flop is the Q flip-flop, the second flip-flop is going to be R flip-flop, third flip-flop is going to be S flip-flop, and the fourth flip-flop is going to be T flip-flop. So what happens on every clock cycles, the output of the Q flip-flop is going to be transferred to the R flip-flop, output of the R flip-flop is transferred to the flip-flop S, and output of the S flip-flop is transferred to the flip-flop T, and serial data input is transferred into the first flip-flop on a negative edge of the clock pulse. So this is the block diagram of 4-bit serial input shift register. This is made from 4D type of the flip-flop. You can see that output of this Q is connected to the input of the R flip-flop, output of R is connected to the input of S flip-flop, and output of S flip-flop is connected to the input of T flip-flop. All the flip-flop clock edge is connected to the common and it is given to the clock edge. So, every time there is a negative edge of the clock will occur, the output of Q will be transferred to the R flip-flop, output of R is transferred to the S flip-flop, output of S is transferred to the T flip-flop, and whatever data is going to be presented at the serial data input will be loaded into the flip-flop Q. Let us see how the actual data transfer take place by an example. Assume that all the flip-flops are initially cleared. So, the flip-flop is having asynchronous clear, and by activating that all the flip-flop can be made reset. That means Q is equal to 0, R is equal to 0, S is equal to 0 and T is equal to 0 prior to giving any clock edge. So, let a binary waveform as shown along the D flip-flop of figure along the D input of the figure 9.2b to be fed to the serial data input of the shift register. Correspondingly, QRST are also shown in the figure. So, you can see this waveform. Here, in this waveform, J is equal to, here there are two data inputs is given, J and K. So, this J we have to consider that J is equal to D is there. And K is not there, or we just remove this K waveforms from here, because this is the waveform for the JK flip-flop that we have to understand like a D flip-flop. So, only one data input is going to be present and that is going to be D. So, J is equal to D, you consider the first data input is going to be 0, the second data input is also going to be 0, third data input prior to the clock C is going to be 1 and fourth data input is going to be 0. So, you can see that 4-bit data which is given, LSB is going to be 0, next LSB is going to be 0, third LSB is going to be 0 and MSB is going to be 1. That way the data is going to be there 0, 0, 1 and 0, like from LSB to MSB. We don't consider the K waveforms here. So, prior to the clock edge occur, that means at the instant of time A, all the flip-flops are resets. That means Q becomes 0, R is equal to 0, S is equal to 0 and T is equal to 0. When and the data input which is going to be present at the serial data input, LSB is going to be 0 is presented. So, when the first negative edge of the clock pulse occur at the instant of time A, what happens? D waveform, D data, that is 0, will be shifted into the first flip-flop Q, and output of the Q which was 0 will be shifted into the flip-flop R. Output of R which is going to be 0 will be shifted into the flip-flop S, and S becomes 0, and output of S which was 0 which will be shifted on the negative edge of the first clock pulse and shifted to the flip-flop T. So, QRST after the negative edge of the clock pulse at the instant of time A becomes 0, 0, 0, 0, and because the data input was 0, D, Q, R and S was 0, 0, 0, 0. On prior to the next clock edge, what are the inputs for the flip-flops? The output data input is going to be again 0. Second LSB is going to be 0. You can see that this one is going to be 0. Second LSB is going to be 0. So, when the next negative edge of the clock pulse will occur, this 0 will be loaded into the first flip-flop Q. Output of the flip-flop Q, 0 was there, will be shifted into the flip-flop R. Output of S which was 0 will be shifted into the flip-flop S, and output of S which was 0 will be shifted into the flip-flop T. And that means after the second clock pulse, what will be the data at the output? QRST is going to be 0, 0, 0, 0. And the data input was DQRS was 0, 0, 0, 0. That is loaded into the flip-flop, that is QRST is going to be 0, 0, 0, 0. Now, on a third clock pulse, prior to the third clock pulse, data input becomes 1 now, D becomes 1 now, third LSB is going to be present. That means the D becomes 1 prior to the clock edge 1. So when the next clock pulse occur at the stop time C, what happens? This 1 will be loaded into the flip-flop Q. So Q becomes 1 or Q is going to be set, and output of Q, which was 0, will be shifted into the flip-flop R. Output of R is going to be 0, which is shifted into the flip-flop S, and output of S, which was 0, will be shifted into the flip-flop T. So now the data input QRST is going to be 1000 will be there. So now prior to the fourth clock pulse, again the data is going to be changed to 0. So you can see that prior to the clock age D, the data becomes 0 here. So this 0 is shifted into the flip-flop Q on a negative edge of the clock pulse at stop time D. So the first flip-flop Q is going to be reset to 0, and output of Q, which was 1, will be shifted into the flip-flop R. So R becomes set, or it is going to be 1. Output of R, which was 0, will be shifted into the flip-flop S, and output of S, which was 0, will be shifted into the flip-flop T. So after the 4 clock cycles, what will be the data? 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. So 4-bit data 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0 is loaded into the 4-bit shift register. So 4 clock cycles is required to enter the 4-bit data into the shift register. And you can see that MSB is output of the Q, and LSB is going to be output of the T flip-flop will be there. At clock age A, the flip-flop Q has input 0 from serial data input D. The flip-flop R has input 0 from the output of the flip-flop Q, and flip-flop S has the input 0 from output of R, and flip-flop T has the input 0 from output of S. When clock triggers, these inputs get transferred to the corresponding flip-flop output simultaneously, so that QRST becomes 0000. Thus, at clock trigger, values at DQRS, which was 000, is transferred to the corresponding flip-flop output. QRST becomes 0000. So whatever we have studied from the figure, that is explained here. At clock HB, the serial data input second LSB D is equal to 0. So DQRS is equal to 0000, because output of Q was 0, output of R was 0, output of S was 0, and data input is going to be 0. So these are the input present to the respective flip-flops. So after the negative transition at instead of time B, this data will be loaded into the corresponding flip-flop QRST is equal to 0000. Now the serial data input is going to be D is equal to 1. So third LSB is going to be 1. In the next clock cycle, at this clock HC, the data input is going to be DQRS is going to be 1000. Data input is present 1 now prior to the clock HC. Output of Q is going to be 0, output of R is going to be 0, and output of S is going to be 0. So this data will be loaded at the negative transition at the instant of time C. The output of the QRST is going to be 1000. The serial data goes to D is equal to 0, MSB is going to be 0. So the data input is changed to the 0. So in prior to the next clock cycle, such that the clock HD DQRS data input is going to be DQRS, the D is going to be 0, the Q is going to be 1, because Q already shifted into the R flip-flops. So R is going to be 1, S is going to be 0, and T is going to be 0. So these are the data input is going to be present, and this data input is shifted into the flip-flop at the edge of D. So 0, 1, 0, 0. Example 9.1 will give another illustration such data transfer. This is one the example where the data inputs was 0, 1, 0, 0, and that is after the 4 clock pulse at the stop from A, B, C, and D. This data bits are going to be loaded in serial fashion into the shift register. That's why it is called serial in shift register. Now we are going to take some other data, and we are going to understand the same how the data is going to be entered serially into the shift register using the state table. A shift register made up of a JK or SR flip-flop has non-inverting output Q of one flip-flop connected to J or S input of the next flip-flop and inverting output Q bar connected to K or R input respectively. What does it mean? We have understand that the serial in serial out shift register which is made from the D flip-flop that also can be made from either SR flip-flop or it can be made from JK flip-flop. In that case, what we have to do? J is supposed to be considered as a no data inputs for the first flip-flop and output of the flip-flop, that is Q output of the flip-flop, true side of the output of the flip-flop should be connected to the next flip-flop, J input of the next flip-flop. And similarly, if it is RS flip-flop is there, the true side of the previous flip-flop, that is Q output, non-inverting output should be connected to the S input of RS flip-flop, and its false side, that means complement side of the Q, that is Q bar, should be connected to the R input of RS flip-flop or K input of the JK flip-flop, and that way the same functions whatever we understand with the D type of the flip-flop can be done using JK flip-flop or RS flip-flop, and respectively they can be known as a JK shift register, or it is known as a D shift register, or it can be known as a RS shift register. A shift register made up of JK or SR flip-flops has non-inverting output Q of one flip-flop connected to J or S input of the next flip-flop, and inverting output Q bar is connected to K or R input of the next flip-flop respectively. For the first flip-flop between J and K or S and R, an inverter is connected and J or S input is treated as a serial data input. Note that in this configuration, both JK and SR flip-flop effectively act like a D flip-flop, because in the first flip-flop between J and K we have connected inverter. So J becomes D, or if it is SR flip-flop is there, S becomes D, and between S and R there is a inverter is connected, so R is equal to S bar will be there, or K is equal to J bar will be there. Such a circuit is given over here. 4-bit serial input shift register using a JK flip-flop is shown here. The true side of each flip-flop, that is Q, non-inverting output Q, is connected to the J input of the next flip-flop. True side of the flip-flop R is going to be connected to the J, S is connected to the J, and Q bar is connected to the K, R bar is connected to the K, S bar is connected to the K. And between the first flip-flop, that is J is treated as a D input, and between J and K there is an inverter will be connected, and that way this becomes a effectively like a D flip-flop. Clock is allowed to give all the flip-flops simultaneously, and here it shows the bubble and triangle, that means this JK flip-flop is negative age triggered JK flip-flop. The waveform is also shown here. This is the clock age. 4-bit data is going to be transferred into this shift register. So this is 4-bit shift register, serial in shift register. So 4 clock cycle is going to be required. J waveform and K waveform are exactly mirror image of each other. So when J is equal to 0, K should be 1. J is equal to 0, K should be 1. J is equal to 1, K should be 0. And J is equal to 0 prior to the D, K should be 1. So this way there are 2 waveforms are shown here. Either you can utilize the inverter or you can give this data separately here. QRST, this is we have discussed that effectively the same data can be loaded, that means 0 0 1 0 0 0, LSB is going to be 0, next LSB is going to be 0, third LSB is going to be 1, and the fourth LSB or MSB is going to be 0. This data is going to be loaded after 4 clock cycles. MSB is going to be appear at the output of the Q, and LSB is going to be appear at the output of T flip-flop. Now the next example, show how a number 0010 is entered serially in a shift register shown in a figure 9.2a using a state table. Now we are taking another set of the data. Previous data was 0010 was there. Now this data is going to be from MSB side. This is going to be 0, this is going to be 0, this is going to be 1, LSB is going to be 1, next LSB is going to be 1. Sorry, the data is, this data has to be entered into the shift register in a serial fashion. Figure 9.3 represents the state table. The timing diagram corresponding to this is discussed in this section. Note how the data flows across the flip-flop is highlighted by the arrow direction. So this is the state table through which we are actually discussing that how the 4-bit data, that is 0100, will be loaded into the shift register in a serial fashion. So this is the serial data input. The first bit LSB is going to be 0, the next LSB is going to be 1, third LSB is going to be 0, and MSB is going to be 0 is here. Prior to the any clock pulse, all the flip-flops are going to be cleared. That means the output of Q is going to be 0, output of R is going to be 0, output of S is going to be 0, and output of T is going to be 0. So before any clock age occurs, 0 clock age, all the flip-flops are going to be reset, or it is going to be cleared. Now, when the first clock cycle will occur, negative age of the first clock cycle occur at the stop time A, what happens? Serial data input which is present, J is equal to 0. So the flip-flop remains to be reset. So this 0 will be shifted into the first flip-flop Q. Output of Q, which was 0, which will be shifted into the flip-flop R. The output of R, which was 0, which will be shifted into the flip-flop S, and output of S, which was 0, will be shifted into the flip-flop T after the first clock cycle. So what is the data? After the one clock cycle, 0000 is the data is present. After next clock cycle, on a negative edge of the second clock pulse, this data input 1 will be shifted into the first flip-flop Q. Output of Q will be shifted into the flip-flop R. Output of R is going to be shifted into the flip-flop S, and output of F will be shifted into the flip-flop T. So after the second clock pulse, the data output QRST is going to be 1000 will be there. This data is present, and the third LSB is going to be present at the data input D now, or J. J is equal to 0 now. So when the third clock pulse will occur, this 0 will be loaded into the first flip-flop Q. This 1 will be shifted into the flip-flop R. This 0 will be shifted into the flip-flop S, and this 0 will be shifted into the flip-flop T. So after the 3 clock cycles, you can say that QRST is going to be 0100 will be there. Now the fourth data bit, that is going to be 0. MSB is going to be 0, will be present at the data input prior to the fourth clock pulse. So when the fourth clock pulse, negative edge of the fourth clock pulse will occur, this 0 will be loaded into the first flip-flop Q. So Q is going to be reset. Output of Q will be shifted into the flip-flop R. Output of R, which was 1, will be shifted into the flip-flop S, and output of S will be shifted into the flip-flop T. So after the 4 clock cycles, the data bits is going to be entered into the shift register is 0010. This data is going to be loaded into the shift register after the 4 clock cycle. Every clock cycle, one data bit is entered into the first flip-flop Q, and the data which is present at the output of any flip-flop will be shifted onto the next flip-flop on the same clock pulse. At this point, we have developed the idea for shifting data into a shift register in a serial form. The serial data input can be classified as either JK or D or RS depending on the flip-flop type used to construct a register. So the shift register is known as either D type shift register or JK type shift register or RS type shift register depending upon which type of flip-flop is going to be used. And this way we have understand how this data is going to be entered serially into the shift register. Now we'll try to understand how the data will be coming out serially from the shift register. Now, how about the shifting the data out of the shift register? Let us take another look at the register in the figure 9.3a. Suppose that it has the 4-bit number QRST is equal to 1010 stored in it. So now we'll try to understand how the data is coming out of the shift register in a serial fashion. The same 4-bit shift register is going to be present. But now the data which is already stored in the shift register is nothing but 1010 data is already loaded into the shift register after the 4 clock cycle, and it is there. Output of the shift register is the output of the last flip-flop. That means T flip-flop output true side Q is going to be appear at the output, and hence what happens, the 0 which is going to be output of this T flip-flop, where 0 is going to be appear at the outside of the T flip-flop. So prior to the any clock cycle is going to be occur, the data which is already present 1010, out of this data only one bit will be appear at the output, and that is going to be LSB is going to be appear at the output, and that is going to be 0. And now the data input of the first flip-flop is maintained that it should be 0 only. So if a next clock signal is going to be applied, the waveform shown in figure 9.4 will be generated. Here is what happens. Before the timeline A, the registers store the number QRST is equal to 1010, and the LSB, which is going to be 0 here, which is going to be appear at the output of T flip-flop. At time A, the entire number is shifted one flip-flop to the right. A 0 is shifted into the flip-flop Q, because data input now we are maintaining to the zeros only. So what happens? The 0 is entered into the first flip-flop Q, and every bit output of every flip-flop is shifted one flip-flop to the right side. That means output of Q is going to be shifted into R, output of R is going to be shifted into S, and output of S is going to be shifted into the T. That means second LSB is going to be appear at the output of T flip-flop, and the LSB which was 0 was there, that is coming out of the shift register. So after one clock cycle, LSB has lost from the output of the serial out shift register. At time A, the entire number is shifted one flip-flop to the right. A 0 is shifted into the Q flip-flop, and LSB is shifted out and the right end, and which is going to be lost. The register hold the bit QRST is going to be 0101. We know that the LSB was 0, which is coming out from the T flip-flop, and it is going to be lost. And next LSB, which was 1, which is going to be appear at that time, and the first flip-flop is entered 0. That's why the data is going to be QRST after the first clock cycle is going to be 0101 will be there. And the second LSB 1 is going to be appear at the T flip-flop. At time B, when the second clock pulse will occur, again D is going to be 0. So D is going to be entered into the first flip-flop Q, and the entire data is shifted one flip-flop to the right. And second LSB will come out of the shift register and will be lost. And third LSB will be appear at the output of the T flip-flop. So the data will be 0010 will be appear. At time B, the bits are all shifted one flip-flop to the right. A 0 shifts into the Q, and the third LSB 0 appears at the output T. The register hold QRST is equal to 0010. This is third LSB is appear at the output of serial out shift register. At time C, the bits are all shifted one flip-flop to the right, and again one more 0 is going to be entered into the flip-flop Q. 0 shift into the flip-flop Q, and MSB, that is going to be the fourth bit which was there 1, which is going to be appear at T, and third LSB which was 0, which has come out of the shift register and lost, and this one MSB is going to be appear at the T flip-flops. So register holds now QRST is equal to 0000. So these 3 zeros are entered every 3 clock pulse from the D input, which was maintained to be 0, and MSB is going to be appear at the output of shift register. Now at the instant of time D, MSB is shifted out of the register, and which is going to be lost, and another 0 is going to be appear. That means the now data QRST is going to be all zeros are there, and all 4-bit data is come out of the shift register one by one after every clock pulse, and it is going to be lost. So that way this will behave as a serial in as well as serial out shift register. So you can see this thing. There are 4 clock cycles is going to be there because we want to use this shift register as a serial out shift register, a 4-bit shift register. So 4 clock cycle is needed, and data input is maintained to be 0 only here. Prior to the clock age, the data input was 1 0, 1 0 was there. MSB was 1, second MSB or third LSB is going to be 0, this LSB is going to be 0, and that way the data is going to be appear. You can see that. So prior to the instead of time A, the LSB is going to be appear at the output of the shift register, which was 0, which was LSB. Next clock cycles after age A, second LSB is going to be appear at the output of this one. The first LSB has come out of the shift register and lost. And after the second clock pulse, the third LSB has appeared at the output, which was 0. And after the third clock pulse, we can say that this one is going to be come to the shift to the flip-flop T, and which is going to be appear at the output of T flip-flop. And after the fourth clock pulse, that output MSB is also going to be coming out of the shift register, and it is going to be lost. That means after the 4 clock cycle, the QRST becomes 0 0 0 0. You can see that this is going to be 0 0 0 0. To summarize, we have caused the number stored in the register to appear at T. This is the register output. So serial in, serial out, which is having only one input, that is data input D, and which is having only one output, that output is going to be T. This is the register output. 1 bit at a time from LSB to MSB is appear beginning with the LSB in a serial fashion over time period of 4 clock cycles, which will be appear at the output of T and will come out of the shift register T and will be lost. In other words, the data stored was shifted out of the register at flip-flop T in a serial fashion. Thus, this is not only a serial input shift register, but it is also behaves as a serial input, serial output shift register. It is important to realize that the stored number is shifted out of the right end of the shift register and lost after 4 clock times. Notice that the complement of the output data stream is also available. So sometimes you require a complement of this data output, which is also going to be available at T bar. So that output Q bar, complement of Q, is also going to be available at the output of shift register, serial out shift register. Now for this one, 4-bit shift register, which is available in a IC, TTL IC 74LS91 shift register, is shown in a figure 9.5. This is a 8-bit TTL MSI chip. That means this can enter the 8-bit data into the shift register, and 8-bit data can come out of the shift register. So this is 8-bit serial in, serial out shift register, which is nothing but 74LS91. 74 stand for, this is a TTL type of IC. LS shows low power Schottky TTL is there, and which is 8-bit serial in, serial out shift register. Pin diagrams and logic diagram for this one is shown on the next page. There are 8 RS flip-flops connected to provide a serial input as well as serial output. So in this IC, they have utilized the RS flip-flop. So using the RS flip-flop, also you can prepare serial in, serial out shift register. So instead of JK, you can utilize here RS flip-flop will be there. This is the IC, you can see that. This is the 14-pin IC. Because it is a TTL IC, the VCC is equal to plus 5 volt will be there regulated. So 4 number pin is a VCC and 11 number pin is the ground that power supply is supposed to be connected. There will be 2 inputs here, data inputs will be there, which is made from this NAND gate A and B. Pin number 10 is the input A and pin number 12 is the input B. There are 2 outputs, that means Q and Q bar, true side of this T last flip flop and complement side of the output Q bar is also available. So pin number 13 is the Q output and pin number 14 is Q bar output. Clock is given to the pin number 9 and clock is given prior to this inverter. So whatever data clock pulse which is going to be there, it is inverted and it is available to the flip flop. This all RS flip flop are negative edge triggered flip flop. So actually they will be respond on the negative edge of the clock pulse, but clock is given prior to that with the inverter. So the data is going to be loaded or transferred from the flip flop or shifted from the flip flop from left to right with a positive edge of the clock pulse. You can apply this data either A or B, and that way this NAND gate will work as a inverter. So whatever data you have provided at either A or B will be inverted and that will be available to the R, and again it is going to be inverted and it is going to be available to the flip flop S input, and that way this is going to be D input. Whatever data is going to be there, that is going to be available at S input, and complement of the data is going to be available at R input, and that way this behaves like a D type of flip flop. The clock input at each flip flop is negative edge triggered sensitive. However, since the applied clock signal is passed through an inverter, data will be shifted on a positive edge of the input clock pulses. The inverter connected between R and S on the first flip flop means that this circuit functions as a D type flip flop. So the input to the register is a single line on which data will be shifted into the register appears serially. The data input is applied at either A pin number 10 or B, that is pin number 12. So A and B will work as a data inputs. Notice that data level at A or B is complemented by the NAND gate and then applied to the R input of the first flip flop. The same data level is complemented by the NAND gate and then complemented again by the inverter before it appears at the S input. So one at the data input A will be set the first flip flop because one will be appear at S and R is going to be 0. So on a first negative edge of the clock pulse or positive edge of the clock pulse, the flip flop is going to be set. In other words, this one is shifted into the first flip flop on a positive clock transition. The NAND gate with inputs A and B simply provides a gating function for the input data stream if desired. What is this gating function? We'll discuss in the next section. But by using this NAND gate, we can provide that data which is going to be present at the input will be passed through the gate or it will be blocked through the gate, and that is called gating function. So if we consider that A is supposed to be data inputs and B is going to be 1, then what happens? The output of the NAND gate is going to be 0. That means data is going to be inverted and this NAND gate will be used like a NOT gate and data is complemented and it is available at the R input. But if the another input B is going to be 0, then what happens? A is equal to 1 but B is equal to 0. Output of this one is going to be 1. So R is going to be 1 and S remains to be 0. So that means data is going to be blocked to reaching to the S input, and that way this is providing the gating function. If gating is not desired, simply connect the pin number 10 and 12 together and apply the input data stream to this connection. So when you connect the input A and B together, that means this NAND gate exactly behaves like a NOT gate and data will be given to the common input will be complemented by this NAND gate. Now one more example is here, example 9.3. Examine the logic level at the input of 74LS91 and show how 1 and then 0 is shifted into the shift register. So we will study using the waveforms, with the logic diagram. The input logic and the first flip flop are redrawn in figure 9.6a and 1 is applied at the data input A. The R input is going to be 0 and S input is going to be 1. The flip flop will clearly be set when the clock goes high. On the positive edge of the clock, the flip flop is going to be set. In other words, 1 at the data input will be shifted into the flip flop. In figure 9.6b, 0 is applied at the data input A and R becomes 1 and S is input is going to be 0, the flip flop will be reset when the clock goes high or clock makes positive transition. The input 0 is thus shifted into the flip flop. You can see that. This is the arrangement for the first flip flop. S R is here. The clock pulse is there, which is passed through the inverter. Data input A and B is going to be shorted. So if the data input is going to be 1, this work as a NOT gate. So output of the NAND gate is going to be 0. So 0 will be appear at R, and again this is going to be inverted by the NOT gate. So S becomes 1, R is going to be 0. The flip flop is going to be set on the positive edge of the clock pulse. So Q becomes 1 here. Similarly here, if the data input is going to be 0, which is going to be inverted by the NAND gate, and it becomes 1 here. So R is going to be 1. Again it is going to be inverted here, becomes 0. So S is going to be 0. R is going to be 1. On positive transition of the clock pulse, the flip flop is going to be reset. So Q becomes 0. This way, this shows that how it will work. Now there are some questions. What is the largest decimal number that can be stored in a binary form in a 74LS91 resistance? Largest decimal number. This is 8-bit shift register. So 8-bit shift register can store from 000000 zeros to 8 ones, and all the outputs are going to be high 1. That means all 8 are going to be 1. That means it is corresponds to 255. So 255 decimal number which can be stored into, and that is nothing but 1111, then again 1111. This number can be stored. Is a 74LS95 register sensitive to the positive transition or negative transition? Flip flops are negative edge transition but passing through the inverter, so it is positive transition. So on a positive edge of the clock pulse, the data will be shifted into the flip flops. Thank you very much, friends.